on your side. You're watching News 19 at noon.
Heavy downpours continue to pound the Louisiana coast as the first big storm of hurricane season is here. Good afternoon and thanks for joining us for News 19 at noon. I'm Darcy Strickland. We start today in the Gulf Coast where Tropical Storm Cindy has come to the shores of Louisiana and is drenching the coast with rain, strong winds, and even tornadoes. CBS's Don Champion brings us the latest on the storms today from Biloxi, Mississippi.
Cindy made landfall overnight as a tropical storm with sheets of pounding rain and powerful winds in southwest Louisiana. The rising floodwater reached mailboxes in some places, and a canoe was the only way for some people to get around this morning to survey the damage. The tropical storm dumped as much as 10 inches of rain along the Gulf Coast, forcing drivers to abandon cars on washed-out roads.
I was going to drive through it, but it was a little too deep to go in there with the car.
Cindy's whipping winds caused trouble as far east as Mobile, Alabama, where a tree toppled into a home.
I'm thankful nobody got hurt. The stuff that's damaged in the house is just stuff, it can be replaced.
In Florida, a tornado touched down, destroying a ball field and uprooting a tree that flattened a truck.
Not usually one for loss at words, but I am now. I can't get over this.
Along this part of the Gulf Coast in Biloxi, the heavy downpours have been happening off and on for 3 days now. The saturated ground and winds have led to concerns about falling trees. The water is also already knee-deep in some parts of the state. The National Weather Service says flash flooding is possible in parts of Texas, Mississippi, and Arkansas. Some areas could receive 6 more inches of rain before the system moves out later today. Don Champion, CBS News, Biloxi, Mississippi.
The storm's path doesn't come through the Palmetto State, but it will still bring plenty of rain to the Midlands. For more on what we can expect to see today, we're going to turn things over to meteorologist Efren Afonte. Efren.
Well, right now, Darcy, the good news is that Cindy has started to come down a little bit. It's now a tropical depression moving to the north at about 13 miles an hour just south of Shreveport, Louisiana. The winds at 35, gusting at times to 45 miles an hour. Lots of rainfall associated with it, also going into Mississippi, Alabama, and Georgia, but not yet here in Columbia. Right now, it's 83 degrees, overcast skies. It is horribly muggy out there. Dew point 73, it feels more like 89 degrees, but we do have a chance for showers, maybe even a thunderstorm or two. Reach a high of 87 degrees, a slight chance for a shower storm tonight. A low of 74. Then tomorrow, lots of sunshine to begin with. It'll be hot, 95 degrees, with a slight chance for an afternoon shower or storm. But Darcy, it's going to stay in the 90s for a while, and I'll show you that in the forecast in just a few minutes.
Efren, thank you so much. We do want to remind our viewers that they can find more on the storm on our website at WLTX.com. One Lexington man is dead after he was struck by a car while running this morning. Police say 38-year-old John Flanagan was hit while running on North Lake Drive, going on to Sunset Boulevard. Lexington police continue to investigate the accident. His workout group, F3, held a prayer ceremony in his memory this morning. Richland County deputies are looking for 2 Romanian gang members they say are stealing thousands of dollars from ATMs. Investigators say the gang is using credit and debit card skimmers at the machines. 3 skimmers were found throughout the county over the weekend, preventing thousands of dollars from being stolen. But in March, a Romanian woman was arrested and charged with stealing almost $33,000 from ATMs, including the ATM at the First Citizens Bank on Rosewood Drive.
Wow, I'm glad I ain't put my card in there first. A little bit of money I do have. I'm glad I didn't put my card in there first, but it was 3 cars in front of me. But since I took the skim off, they'll be all right because their information won't get scanned because I took the skim off.
Well, the Sheriff's Department says to always check card readers for skimmers before using your bank card. If you live in Columbia, you're going to pay more for water. The City Council approved a $5 stormwater fee increase along with a nearly 5% increase to water and sewer bills as part of its new budget. If you live within city limits and your current water bill is around $59, you will see your bill go up to about $66. If you live outside of city limits and pay $99 a month, you'll notice your water bill jump to about $103.
We either pay it now or pay it later. You don't fix the system is going to get broken. When it gets broken, it's going to cost us twice they are among right now.
We don't want people to be blindsided by this. We want them to ask their questions, understand what it is that their dollars are going to support.
Well, the water bill rate increase starts July 1st, but you may not notice it until late July or early August. After being written behind closed doors, Senate Republicans have released their health care proposal. According to USA Today, the proposal would make massive cuts to Medicaid, repeal taxes on the wealthiest Americans, and strip funding for Planned Parenthood for a year. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell expects the bill to come to the floor as early as next week. The nonpartisan Congressional Budget Office would have to first estimate its cost and impact. Of course, we'll keep you up to date as more information rolls in on our website at WLTX.com. The American student who died in a coma after returning from North Korea will be laid to rest today. Family and friends of Otto Warmbier gathered in Ohio for his funeral. His family rejected an autopsy review, instead only wanting an outside examination. Warmbier visited North Korea in 2016 and was arrested and sentenced to hard labor before being returned to the United States in a coma. SCE&G is offering customers rebates for energy-efficient air conditioners. Rebates of up to $400 are available for customers that upgrade to energy-efficient units. The company is trying to help replace heating, ventilation, and air conditioning, or HVAC systems. HVAC systems typically account for nearly half of your household's energy bill. Oil prices have dropped to their lowest point since last summer. This is because of an oversupply and less demand across the world. That's not too good for energy companies, but it's good news for drivers. According to AAA, the national average for a gallon of gas is down 4 cents since this time last year. Nike is now making the run to Amazon. The shoes will now be available on the online shopping giant. Nike is making the move to control the sale of knockoff shoes. Shares for several other shoe companies fell when the deal was announced. It's a good time to be an athlete in the state of South Carolina. Both the USC women's basketball team and the Clemson Tigers football team are nominated for best teams in the ESPY Awards. They both won their respective championships this past season. The Gamecocks are only one of 2 female teams to be nominated, including the U.S. women's gymnastic team. Meanwhile, the Clemson Tigers are nominated for 3 other ESPY Awards. Fans can vote from now until July 12th. Tonight, a lot of USC fans will have their eyes set on 2 Gamecocks hoping to make it to the pros. News 19's Nick Jones and Ralph Cooper break down what these 2 players offer to NBA scouts.
Tonight's a big night for a lot of NBA prospects all across the country, but in particular, 2 prospects right here from Columbia. I'm Ralph Cooper.
And I'm Nick Jones. And those 2 players that people are going to be focusing on is PJ Dozier and Sindarius Thornwell. Now, a lot of people kept their eye on these 2 players throughout the season, especially during March Madness. And both players really made a statement as to what they can do for any kind of team. And I'm sure Thornwell had that in his mind with it being his senior season. He knew he was going to the draft, so you saw him go off. He had 20 points every single game except for the last one and the Final Four against Gonzaga, but he did have a double digit. I think it was 17 points. So both players are trying to showcase what they have to the NBA scouts, and we'll see tonight if they do get drafted.
Now, a lot of great talent coming into this year's draft. I know I was talking to you earlier, and this is going to be one of the most watched drafts in a while. But like you said, it's a lot. PJ and Sindarius, we know what they can offer. We know what they bring to the table. Now it's just up to the scouts just to see what they can bring to their specific team. And I think both of these players are going to bring a winning attitude. We both know they can score. We both know they can play well within a team. We watched them a little bit during the combine, during the scrimmages. I watched PJ and Sindarius play well against guys they probably played against or never played with before. So I don't think that's going to be a problem when scouts are looking to draft them. But I think these 2 guys will be sleeper picks. I do think that they both have potential to develop into some huge role players for whichever team picks them up. And with PJ, with him being only 20 years old, it's no telling what can happen with his career. It sits at a point guard. That's dangerous, man. That's dangerous.
Yeah, and with the strengths and weaknesses for both players, I mean, Thornwell, he has more of experience, so that gives him the edge. But a lot of people say since he's played for 4 years in college basketball, that's not very common in the NBA draft. Most people do play only 1 year and go straight on. But that's where his strengths are. Now, PJ, younger, isn't as developed yet, but he'll get there, especially if he gets to the right coaches and right staff.
Well, Nick, all we can do right now is wish him luck. So best of luck to you guys, and follow our coverage of the draft on WLTX.com. But for now, guys, we're going to send it right back to you.
All right, Ralph, Nick, thank you. The draft begins tonight at 7, and of course, we'll have the latest on the top picks tonight during News 19 at 11. Still to come today on News 19 at noon, if you're looking to help others beat that Midlands heat, the Columbia Police Department is hosting their Beat the Heat event. When we come back, where you can donate. Stay tuned.